All right, Dave from Dave's Specialty Foods here. Maggie's behind the camera with the idiot shirt. You have to show me your idiot shirt.
No.
I can show me your idiot shirt.
No.
It's true, I'm not lying. It's been a little while since we've filmed a video, and I think it's time. Spring break around here, it's a little quiet, so time to give you a little something to do. And this is something that we're gonna prepare in real time, probably about 20 minutes, including the baking time. You can do this. It's really gourmet. You're not gonna find anything like this in a restaurant. You have to go to a nice French bistro to find this, and this is something you can really really approachable, and you can get stuff. I mean, I get my fish from a fish guy, but you can certainly go to like a Costco or something like that. So let's get into it. We're gonna make a fresh salmon fillet wrapped in phyllo, filled with a white bean puree. Sounds a little complicated, but it's gonna be easy. And we're just gonna real simple sauteed spring vegetables. Okay, so it's very light, very springy, kind of summery, not heavy, creamy sauces, and again, stuff that you can do at home. You don't need any fancy skills for this, even though it really, really shows really, really nicely. Ingredients. Do what I do here. We talk about this all the time. Get your stuff ready to go so you're ready to rock. Literally up until 5 minutes ago, I didn't know what I was gonna put inside the phyllo. It needs a little bit of a filling or a mousse or something like that. I've got my salmon fillet prepared, cut. This is really in the center. Okay, you don't want to use the tail part because, you know, the salmon fillet gets real thin in the end. If you're stuck with that tail fillet, you can fold the tail under, or I just freeze it and think of something else to do later on. You can make little skewers of salmon and veggies and stuff like that. Put it on the grill real quick. But for this, when it's baked in the oven, wrapped in phyllo, you need a thick center cut. Okay, it's about 5 ounces. We have some asparagus. We have some fresh tarragon. Smell that, it's like licoricey, okay? Fresh tarragon, never dried. Don't substitute dried, just don't do it. Fresh tarragon. Fresh parsley that's already chopped, look at that. We say all the time in when I'm doing cooking classes, if you've got fresh parsley and you bought a bunch of it and the recipe said, you know, a little bit, and you chopped a little bit up, chop the whole thing up, use your little bit for the recipe, and now look at this. I'm not kidding you, this was probably chopped like 3 days ago at our shop. It's beautiful, it's green, it's fresh, and now I can use it anytime I want. So chop the whole thing rather than throwing half of it away, okay? Chop it all, okay? They're little cherry tomatoes, teardrop tomatoes, okay? We've sliced them in half, okay? I got a lot more than I need, but that's okay. We got the little butt end of a green onion, okay? It's a green onion. We've used the top. We made guacamole with the top. We have the little butt end, almost like a pearl onion. Save that, we're gonna cook that. We have pepper, fresh lemon juice. Not the fake real lemon juice, okay? You know what I mean? It's called real lemon, we don't use that. This is good olive oil, some utensils. We have a Moroccan spice. Yes, I got a little funky here. See, you can buy the Moroccan spice with the tape on there and everything. We make this Moroccan mix. If you really need to put this on there and you really want to be authentic, stop by the shop and pick some of this up. Shameless plug, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna use like a Cajun spice, okay? So it's the same little bit idea, just a little better here. Got salt and pepper, salt's mixed with pepper. We got a little can of Great Northern beans. No big secret there, okay? And we got some soft butter. When I say soft butter, I mean soft butter. Look, it's soft and gooey, it's like mousse, okay? We've let that sit out. You can microwave it to speed it along. And we have some phyllo here. This phyllo, give you a little heads up, this phyllo I used about a month ago for a recipe, and I wrapped it properly back in its, a lot of people have used phyllo already. I've wrapped it in its little wrapper, stuck it back in its little sleeve, and put it back in the box. And I'm telling you, a month later, when it was in the cooler, not the freezer. This is perfect shape right here. Nice. So let's go. So we want to have our oven at 375 convection. Okay, so you got that fan blowing in the oven, so it's hot, blasting, and it's even. The fan's blowing, and the phyllo's going to get crispy and puffy. Okay, let's open up our phyllo. Now, what we do with this is why it's very important when you're using phyllo. It can really kind of be annoying and somewhat piss off people when they're using it. They say, I'll never use phyllo again. When you use this, you have to be ready. We're gonna brush it with a little butter or olive oil, kind of Greek style. And you've got to have your butter. We have a little brush here, a little paintbrush. And we have some herbs and stuff we're gonna put between here, and we have our salmon cut. Don't get phyllo out and then go watch a movie, okay? It's gonna dry up and curl up, okay? Here's what we're gonna do. This is real film here. We're gonna open the phyllo up to the center section here, okay? It's the little center cut. And we're gonna open this up, we're gonna pull off, look at how nice and delicate this is, and fresh, okay? We're gonna pull off a sheet of phyllo like this, okay? And we're gonna brush it with a little bit of butter, okay? So it's gonna tear on you a little bit, but don't fret. This isn't that stressful, okay? Some people freak out a little too much, okay? Don't freak out. You gotta calm the frick down sometimes, okay? okay? So we're gonna put a little bit of this butter on. See how soft this is? If this butter's melted, you could just melt the butter. Don't make it hot, but just melt it. That's fine too, okay? Because this'll kind of stick a little bit. We're gonna put a little fresh parsley in here. A little fresh parsley. Look at that now. Look at the color. Look at the green in there. Okay, great. All right, that's all we need. Now we're gonna take our phyllo. We're gonna fold it in half. Now we fold this plastic in the middle of the sheets like this. Okay, and then we keep it nice and flat like that. This should last about 2 months in the fridge. Okay, don't let someone tell you it won't. Okay, it's perfectly fine. I think I'm gonna do this. We're gonna put the salmon fillet right in the middle. All right, let's get a little salt and pepper on here. You season kind of up here, and you're gonna season with your fingers. Don't use a salt and pepper shaker or a spoon. Okay, spoon's not gonna be even. It's gonna drop a bunch of salt in one spot. And what your fingers do, see this? How I can just sprinkle salt on here, and it's even. Okay, you want to be even, and what you'll find that when you use your fingers, you will actually use less salt. You'll find yours because you'll grab some salt. And we're gonna season our salmon. See how nice and even that is? And we go up high. So I'm about 12 inches up here, okay? I'm not down here. Go up here and sprinkle, okay? And then you'll find that you have extra salt and it goes right back in the bowl. I'm gonna take a can of white beans. This is like white bean hummus, okay? Or white bean puree, it's very Italian. Okay, I've drained the beans, okay? Can of white beans. Yes, I'm using canned beans, but they're delicious. They're good, they save me some time. I'm not gonna soak white beans overnight. Boil them and cook them just to make a little bit of white bean topping that's in a salmon fillet. We can do this with canned beans and it's perfectly fine. Put a little fresh parsley in here. So here's your whole white beans. We've drained them. Drain that liquid, okay? Don't rinse them, just drain it. We want that sticky liquid, okay? A little bit of parsley in there, fresh parsley. Olive oil, a little touch of olive oil in there. Look at that, real lemon juice, organic, good stuff, okay? Just a touch, like a teaspoon, okay? Teaspoon of lemon juice, have that fresh flavor, okay? Lots of black pepper, we're done. That's it, boom. Lots of pepper. Just go nuts here. 20 turns, okay? Adds a little zip spice, okay? This is a giant, like Cuisinart, okay? But it's very, very industrial weapon, okay? Put this in a blender, it's fine. You can smash it in a bowl with a spoon too. Put it in a blender, like a Vitamix or, you know, you don't necessarily need a big machine like this. Just a homemade blender is fine, okay? And we're just gonna we're gonna count to about 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, okay? And we're done. It's like a hummus. The flavor's unbelievable, and you eat this warm. You can eat it cold, very Italian. Very, very Tuscan Italian, okay? You can eat this as a chip dip, like hummus, white bean hummus. Or you heat it up and use it for a little base for like, I don't know, you could put a piece of roasted chicken on top, something like that. We're gonna take a little bit of this white bean puree right on top of our salmon. You see what I mean? It gives the salmon that little bit of, I don't want just crunchy phyllo and overcooked dried baked salmon. I want perfectly roasted salmon with this little squishy stuff on top of it, okay? It's very French, okay? We're gonna take our tarragon, okay? You wanna get rid of this little stem in the middle. So you zip the leaves right off the stem like that, okay? Get rid of that. And the smell, I mean, it's amazing. If you take like one of these leaves and you eat it fresh, it's very licoricey. Within about a minute, your lips will be numb and your teeth and your gums will be all numb. It's like a drug, okay? You can make a tea with this. It's very, very Native American natural medicine here, okay? So, my lips are numb already. Fresh tarragon, go crazy all over the place here, okay? Get the whole thing all tarragon-y, okay? Look at that, perfect. Now, let's take our little butter. We're gonna fold our little phyllo here. We're gonna add a little butter on the top, on the bottom here, okay? We're gonna add another little bit of butter on the bottom. We're gonna hold on to this because I don't want boring. Look at this, okay? Look at, boring salmon fillet in an envelope. That sucks, okay? Let's make this look better. Too many restaurants do it. They go, oh, it's salmon and phyllo, and you get this little stupid envelope packet. Let's make this look freaking great, okay? We're gonna kind of stack it up like that, okay? Make it like a little pouch. I can see the fish in there. That's great. We're gonna take that same butter. We're gonna put just a little non-sticky on our pan here, okay? I'm gonna fold my parchment, there's a parchment paper on top of our pan, okay? I'm gonna put our little salmon fillet, use your knife here, put our little salmon fillet right there, okay? It's ugly beautiful. See it, little peekaboo there, I love that. That's gonna go in the oven, 375 convection for about 10 minutes, quick. There's real time here, we're waiting for this salmon to cook for the video, okay? So that, oh, now, remember I told you about the tarragon? right now it just hit me. My tongue, my whole left side of my tongue is numb. So I might start talking a little lispy here, and my gums are starting to get from that one little leaf. I mean, it's so medicinal. It's really, really good. Okay, you don't see tarragon a lot in recipes. You just don't. Very, very seldom you get a recipe. Shrimp goes well with shrimp. Short of using tarragon, you can use fresh dill in there too. Very, very. I'm very flexible. Okay, a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't cook because I don't have all those special ingredients." Just look at it, say, "I need some salmon and I need some phyllo, and whatever else I put in there is fine with me." You can put hummus. Buy hummus in a jar, lemon hummus, and put that on top of the salmon. It's going to be great. Okay, so make your life as easy as you want to. You can make like 6 or 8 of those salmon fillets and put them on a little parchment sheet pan, a little bit of butter or cooking spray on there, and just let them sit in the fridge, and they'd be perfectly happy in the fridge for like 6 or 8 hours. People come over, what's for dinner? Salmon and phyllo with white bean puree. In the oven you go. Okay, so really great, really easy, and certainly something you can prep very well. Okay, let's make our little garnish. So you got to remember when you guys are cooking, try to cook more or less like I'm doing now. Okay, remember my salmon as we speak right now is in the oven. What am I going to do for the next 10 minutes? I'm working very clean. I had all my prep done. My salmon was in a little cake plate here, so I can get my dishes later. But what can I do now? Don't make the mistake of trying to cook vegetables and let them sit here and get all overcooked, and you're covering them and they get brown. While that's in, we can really make a quick, fresh, summery asparagus thing. Okay, springtime, get the asparagus out. Now look at my asparagus. You got all these little, you got the ends on the asparagus here. See how they kind of, these are always going to dry up first. And you see how wrinkly they get down here? And it's really weird how they always stop at a certain spot about 2 inches up. Now, with asparagus, what I do, look at the top, beautiful, fresh, awesome. Me personally, I like asparagus that's about as big as your finger. I don't like giant asparagus. It's okay, but I'm not against it, but I'd rather have this perfect size, pretty big asparagus, and I don't like the little pencil sticks, because the pencil sticks, some people love them, but all you have to do is like breathe on them for 2 seconds and they're overcooked, okay? So I'd rather have a nice medium-sized asparagus. You can't be cheap with asparagus. You can't just cut the end up, and a lot of times these videos, these cooking shows, I don't know why they do this. You're about to cook asparagus for 10 people and they want you to take each one and break the tip off. Number one, you get a little ugly break. And number two, you gotta sit and do each one like that. So what I do, you can't be cheap here. Look at all this wrinkly stuff. If you go to squeeze this, it's rock hard and stringy. Asparagus is very stringy. The bottom about third of the asparagus, you have to cut it all off. So let's go way up here. Look at that. That's an easy 2 inches off the top. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna take these little guys and kind of just bias long cut this all the way to the top. See that? These little, we make little like sharp spears out of this. So we're kind of dragging our knife through the top of it. You can slice down like that, I guess, but I like to drag it like this, okay? Don't cut your fingers off, don't be doing this. Okay, kind of get your fingers up and hold it, and we're gonna ride right along our knuckles like that, okay? Slice, and these long, it's definitely asparagus, but look at how good it looks. See how nice this looks? And it's a quick saute. See how thin that is? Okay, this is gonna be 1 minute in the pan, that's it. All right, so we're gonna cut. Let's get our pan on. All right, asparagus, perfect. We've got our little tomato guys, look at that, nice. We've got our little onions, okay? We've got some fresh parsley garnish here. And we've got some, this is what we're gonna put the Moroccan mix in, okay? And a little olive oil, see that? Very simple. All right, so let's take our onions now. These are the bottoms of green onions, okay? See, I've got a little bit of outside layer that's a little bit dry here. Just peel that off, okay? So we're gonna cut the little nub off the bottom, all right? Cut the nub, it almost looks like a pearl onion. Cut the nub, okay? And if you got a little bit of dry kind of onion skin on the outside, just peel that right off. See how fresh and wet it looks, okay? Same idea here. We're gonna just kind of grab our onion and we're just gonna slice down in these long, kind of nice, look at how similar that looks. These nice onion slices, okay? Keep them long and thin, okay? This is gonna be kind of the star here. It's gonna be asparagus with green onions, but the green onions are kind of the star here. We're gonna take our pan, it's a little bit hot, and we're gonna come to the end of our cutting board here. We're gonna scoop right in. Little onions, little asparagus, okay? Look at that. Add a little olive oil. We got a little sizzle going in here now. No salt. Don't be putting salt on here, you guys. All right? Salt goes on when you're done, because if you start putting salt with those wet onions, water starts coming out. It won't sizzle anymore and brown. We want a quick brown, almost like a stir fry, okay? Sometimes people are afraid of, I gotta saute. I don't know what that is, it's scary. But then the next night, they'll go to make dinner, and they're gonna make a stir fry. And they're all comfortable with stir fry. Stir fry is the same thing. It's the same damn thing. Just you're instead of mixing around in a pan with a spoon, just get rid of the spoon, put your hands on the end of the pan here, and toss. Okay, so it's the same idea. Stir fry, saute. You just go from Asia to France. Okay, it's the same thing. Don't let it scare you. You can certainly do this in a wok. The asparagus is already getting a little bit soft. It's not so hard. Onions are going to start to brown on the edges here. All right, we're going to finish it with these beautiful tomatoes, some olive oil. We got the Moroccan mix, but these are all seasonings. These go on last, okay? Oh man, look at it. All right, it's getting really hot, a little smoky. You might be able to see that smoke. We're going to turn this down just a touch. Okay, and I want to keep hearing that sizzle. Now look at how dry my pan is. Okay, there's no olive oil, just barely a sheen here. Just want to get a little touch of olive oil on here to give that a little bit of juice on the bottom there. You see my onions starting to brown here. Look at that. Okay, look at that. Nice. Looks beautiful. The onions are awesome. Okay, the asparagus is going to start getting very nice and green. And what we want to end up with is kind of an al dente, crunchy, but just a little bit soft in the middle asparagus with these tomatoes. Very summery. It's going to spread over the plate, and the salmon's going to go right at the top. Put a little garnish on the plate. Okay, why not? Garnish your plate up. Nice. Okay, that's ready to go. Grab your pan. Give this a shake. Look at that. Look at that. Onions and asparagus starting to brown. Give it a little toss. Don't worry if you make a little mess. So that's going. Let's go check our salmon before the alarm goes off. All right, salmon looks amazing. Okay, so look at this, you guys. Look at that asparagus. Okay, no seasoning here. You're gonna taste this. Oh, it's boring. Dave's wrong. This is nothing happening. It's coming. In goes our tomatoes. Now this has been about a minute and a half. Look at all you're looking for is a little bit of browning. You don't want burned. You want a little bit of browning there. It's very obvious. Look at your asparagus here is getting nice and green. And see how thin that is? In goes our tomatoes. Okay, that's good. Now let's season. A little bit of salt in here now. Gold pie. Remember that gold pie? Okay. A little bit of Moroccan spice for a little Cajun spice will be fine. A little bit of parsley. Look at that. Looks good, huh? Okay, nice and summery. It's got that fresh kind of. It's got a real fresh flavor. Okay. Look at that. Nice and dry. With a little olive oil in there. All right. Look at that, come on, that looks really good. Now we're done, we're seasoned, we got our browning out of there, now we're seasoned. What's gonna happen is the liquid from the tomato starts coming out, making this a little bit juicy. There's salt in there, so you gotta remember, when you put salt in anything, liquid starts coming out. That's what we want. Everything's already brown, we don't need any more browning. Let that salt bring the liquid out and make this kind of juicy so that when we eat this, we're done now. When we eat this and toss this, this is ready to go. I would be happy with this sitting around for about a half hour. Don't cover it. You put a cover on here, the asparagus gets overcooked, and the tomatoes get all lumpy, tired, and you're gonna lose all the crunchy and freshness of it. You're gonna cook this ahead and leave it. Take it off the hot area, leave it right there. Let it cool down in the same pan. Don't cover it. When you need to heat it up, back on the fire, turn the fire on 2 seconds, toss it, and it's heated. So, don't forget that, okay? Fresh dish here. Let's check. Let's get our spatula real time. I'm telling you, that salmon's about 7 minutes. That looks freaking amazing, okay? I say it every time. Show me a restaurant that serves that. How do I know when it's done? Forgot to tell you. I left a peeky boo hole here. If you don't have a peeky boo hole, right, just kind of get in there, make a little hole in there and check it. You can see it. You can see, oh, that looks done, Dave. Okay, don't worry about checking it. You can put a little tomato on top. Look at that. No one will know. If it's browned, it's done. I guarantee the salmon's very delicate. We're gonna cut into it. Look at that, beautiful salmon with the white beans. Here's the white bean here. The salmon. Let's get a little tomato on there. Look at that, you guys. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, the smell is amazing. Okay. Salmon and phyllo. Bon appetit. Amazing. Make that at home. I did that in 20 minutes. Bon appetit, everybody. See you next time.